So here at Reprieve, we'd like to throw our new people in the deep end, and this is Rada El-Malawi, whose first investigation trip was with me to Yemen a couple of weeks ago, and she's back here now. How are you feeling, Rada?
I'm very happy. I'm very delighted to be back. It's hard enough. Go on again.
Okay, so we're just in the car on the way to see Sharif Mobley, who yesterday afternoon was moved, finally, after months of pushing, from the political security prison to a regular general population prison, which we're hoping, if we survive the car journey over there, will mean an improvement in our access to him.
This is beautiful Tunis. We're in Carthage now. We've just had a meeting with President Marzouki, who's been in power for only a couple of weeks. We were told that Reprieve was the first NGO to have met with him, and it was amazing meeting. I think Holly and I are feeling quite emotional about it. Basically, he said, I'm at your disposal, and Guantanamo is a scandal, and he wants to do everything he can to make sure that there's justice not just for the 5 Tunisians who remain there, but in fact all of the men.
It's pretty extraordinary to hear those words spoken by someone in the presidential palace when it's not quite been a year since the Ben Alis and Trabelsis were wandering around.
There are probably more women in human rights work than there are men, without maligning some of our fantastic male colleagues, because it is a job that has not very much status and not very much money. And traditionally those are jobs that women have been more attracted to, for better or worse.
Investigators, for example. We have investigators who are men and who are women, and both of them are excellent investigators, but I think one of the things that surprised me, and I never would have expected starting this work, is that sometimes, even in very conservative Muslim societies, being a woman can be a real advantage, because they don't expect you, and they don't expect you to behave in certain ways, and so you don't register on the charts. And so it is astonishing what, some of my female colleagues will be able to rock up and smile and bluff their way through, partly because they're bright and incredibly capable, but also I think because they're women. So we've just seen Sharif Mobley at the kind of central prison in Sana'a, where he was just moved from the political security prison after months of pushing. It was better. Obviously, we still have a long way to go to prepare for trial and to get him the evidence he needs. We didn't have nearly enough time with him. We were given maybe 40 minutes and told that we had to leave afterwards, but nonetheless it's an improvement in the situation that he was in before, which was pretty dire. So we're pretty happy about that.
In general, women are very, very heavily represented in social justice and human rights work, and I think Reprieve has strong female leaders. I mean, Claire is such a great example, and everybody in the world wants to work with her. Jane is also amazing, our operations director.
Whew. So we got there in the nick of time. Sharif was chained to another guy in the dock at the court. They had already had the, quote, hearing and said, oh, well, we'll give you another week for your counsel to be present. When we showed up, we said that it wasn't enough time given the international travel requirements of the council. And we got another month, but it's still pretty worrying.
I mean, you can also say the charity sector is a caring sector, and it appeals to people who want to make a difference in the world and so on. I think that's probably true as well. I do think that appeals more directly to women, or a larger number of women, than it does to the same number of men.
Yeah, I think we just feel quite blown away, and hope very much that these words are translated into action.
You have enormous opportunity to change things. It's a small organisation, which I'm sure others have said just packs a punch. And if you have ideas and you have drive and you want to, you can really do a lot here.
Reprieve is a very dynamic organisation. It is full of creative young women often, and that makes it an interesting place to work, and a place where I feel that there is a cliche that may be no such thing as a kind of wrong answer.
It's the chance to see how far you can go, to be inspired by people like Jane and Claire, and to think that hopefully in 5 years or 10 years, like, my career will be there.